Much for being with us. This is KUKA Driscoll, Texas, 105.9 and 103.3, and on Retro Tejano 104.1. We're still getting people moving around, clearing things out. Welcome to the Eric Von Wade Show, starring Eric Von Wade.
Boom.
Featuring Eric Von Wade.
That just happened.
And Charlene is here.
Yes, Charlene, sit down.
Great to see her.
Yeah, she's all excited. There's new people to bother and get to pet. So, man, I tell you, it is a beautiful day out here. It is gorgeous.
Yes.
I mean, that water is flat, and we've got Miss Segrist with us here, right?
That's right.
All right, good to see you. We may have my ambassador of truth, Michael Miller.
Okay.
We don't always agree on everything, but he always tries to tell the truth. He was first rushing up to the radio station, make sure I was okay when I had a little bit too much cold medicine, not enough water. And man, I had a cold that was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, horrible. But you couldn't tell that much on the air because double doses of NyQuil and Mucinex, you know. But yes, drink water. Drink water. I made a joke that I was helping to participate in stage 4 already.
Yeah.
Water
yeah.
curtailment, but you know.
You do your part.
I do my part. You know what I'm saying? But no, that was the first ever. I'll tell you this, though, you get a lot of sympathy from that. I woke up in the arms of a 6'2" supermodel that breeds Boston Terriers. So
it was a happy accident. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's
Well,
what Bob Ross says, right?
I got
Still
taken to
around?
brunch afterward,
Yeah.
and she's like, if you wanted me to take you to brunch, you could have just asked. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's more dramatic like this. Michael Miller, though, refused. He said, let me just tell you, you need to drink some water. I'll call 911, but I'm not going to be stroking your hair while they're giving you an IV when the EMS shows up. And I said, really? I thought we were closer than that. But he said, no, we were not.
Okay, sorry. I just making sure that we are back broadcasting on the radio.
Are we? Are we doing it? 'Cause
yes.
that was gold material right there.
Yeah.
That was
Okay, so
golden.
everything that you just said, do it again.
Okay.
That's yeah.
You know, here's the thing. Drink lots of water. I had we cut the show in about half last Friday because I dehydrated, too much cold medicine, and not enough water, and of course, you know, no food, that sort of thing. You know, yeah, it gets to you. That was my stage 4. I'm practicing already. Somebody
Yeah.
took that seriously though, and
Yes.
actually brought it up in public comment.
When curtailment gets real, it's
Yeah.
Eric Von Wade. time.
That's right. I mean, if I do anything, I do it 100%.
Exactly.
There's no halfway with
You've
me.
never seen conservation like this.
Right. And my buddy, Michael Miller, he ran up to make sure it was okay. He came in, he goes, I saw you lying there on the floor, and some 6'2" blonde stroking your hair while you're getting an IV. He goes, I figured you were okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and so
He's
he said, but
a
I'm
good-
not doing that. So
Yeah.
he said, I'll tell him where you are.
Yeah.
But I'm not stroking your hair. I go, well, she was singing In the Arms of the Angels
Yeah.
by Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, no, that was
as well.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't she?
Right.
Yeah.
In the Arms of the Angels. I don't know. I mean, I was a fan.
I don't know if the Goo Goo Dolls
Okay.
covered it.
That's
I don't.
Sarah.
I don't listen
That's
to
Sarah
hip-hop.
McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a different Angels song. City of Angels. That's what it was.
Yeah,
All right,
there you
well,
go.
Sarah McLaughlin.
Calling all angels.
There you're calling all angels. Maybe that one came next. I was in and out for a moment, so I really can't be held to. Just like when I went to city council and I spoke, did you hear? I thought it was Judy Bloom that the woman was reading from. All I heard was breast in my mouth, and I was like, what? Whoa. I was texting somebody. I said,
Did you hear that too? What was-
did I hear that too? And then it went on to, I wonder if she would be my girlfriend. I was like, no. But this was from World War II. It was young teenage girl hiding under the floor. Why can't I think
Anne
of her name?
Frank?
Yes, it was from Anne Frank.
Huh.
Anne Frank had some lesbian fantasies. It's a well-known thing. I mean, anyway, so I'm like, maybe this could help calm people if they read it sooner in the public comment. But the last guy was still upset. He was about 6'8"
Yeah.
and about 250 pounds of muscle, and he got all red angry because
Yeah.
his 14th Amendment was being violated because they wouldn't give him 3 minutes because he didn't live here. He only got 1 minute. And I'm like, I don't think that's how it's applied.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
it's the state, yes, it's a general representation, but this is a city municipality, and it's for the people who are affected by the taxes and the so forth that we implemented, which is, if you say you don't live within the city limits, then. But he was cool with me after I got done to give my speech. He was giving me the yeah, and I thought, well, this is going to be a good guy. He waited to the very end, and no, he was not happy.
Well, so you've seen kind of I'm not going to say the deterioration, but the kind of abuse of public comment, I think, in a lot of fashions recently in city council meetings. Is there any way you can think of off the top of your head to remedy this? Should we do public comment the day before? I was.
I have a therapy plan.
Okay, yeah.
You have to submit
Well,
to the program, much like Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Okay. and there's one in particular. She's very angry. I know she woke up thinking about me this morning though, and I mean, so angry that she wants to deny the genetic relationship to a sister, and I'm like, that's like the North and the South. This is taking it too far.
Yeah.
I tried to say some complimentary things, and she's like, "You don't even know me." I go, "But I know your sister." She didn't she just didn't seem to want to melt. Not yet, but I could see behind those eyes there was a passion. And so, I say this, I can help solve a lot of problems, but you got to work out some of those frustrations. People take the same position no matter what because they're afraid of losing face, and they use public comment as a vent. Well, write an angry letter, throw it out. Spend some time with Eric Von Wade. We'll do some cardio.
Right.
And,
Go to the retreat.
Right, go to
Hosted
this
by
retreat.
Eric Von Wade.
I have been offering this retreat. It can be a one-on-one retreat. I'm just saying, try different positions. And I mean that, like politically. And it's okay to change your position if it's based on the introduction of some new relevant information. But
Yeah.
it's like a drive-by debate. We're grasping at
Yeah.
every issue that might make us seem to win this one point because we don't want to be wrong. Everybody's wrong from time to time, I've made a couple of mistakes this year alone, and I allow myself 3 a year. So, we're almost at the end. I got one more. I'm saving it.
Got
Right?
that ace in the hole.
That's right. That's right. And, I made a mistake just the other day. Social media and dating sites, let me tell you, they have changed things up dramatically. They have a declaration for STDs now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, I've been turning down women for years, and they're just actually going to local colleges online. I didn't know what the STV, whatever it is, it sounds like a venereal disease. I thought, well, not that one. These are the educated women. So they need to be more clear with these things. Sometimes it's just miscommunication.
It's a bit confusing.
Right. You got the South Texas Vocational College, STVC. I'm like, well, happy VD, That's, I
Right.
put that on a Valentine's Day card one time. People didn't get that either.
That's them being brave. Yeah.
Right. And so you have to clarify all these abbreviations. We got LOL, LMAO. I don't know how they've got abbreviations for your different personality types. And maybe we should have some of that go through so we'll know how to address some of these people. But it's become a trend, and I'm afraid, unfortunately, it's a culture. The worst thing we used to have back in the day, and I'll say this, the Taxpayers Association, it's gone downhill. When Joe O'Brien was there, he always had facts, and he never got radically, he wasn't effing and blind in the city council. If they don't get arrested, they save the FU mayor for the end just to ensure that they get to go to jail. I've been there. It's not that much fun.
Yeah. I've
you know,
watched some public comment on YouTube, but I don't have the patience to sit there and just go through all of that.
It's absurd. Well, what we have now is a new gimmick in which people are trying to make their fortune by filing a lawsuit against whichever city. One guy did it one place. And look, if he made that much money, he would be able to afford a higher tech body cam because that big brick around your neck, stretching the neck of your already worn out T-shirt out, is not helping the image. It's not making you look, oh, this guy knows his Constitution.
Yeah.
Unless they're writing it on toilet paper at the gas station, he's probably not, giving the image off that he wants. And so I'm saying you're not just disrespecting yourself, which is the first thing. You're just making it seem you can't articulate or control your emotions. And if you lose control of your emotions, you've already admitted you've lost the argument.
Well, the point gets lost in the emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
You try to make your point, and eventually, if you're the same person going up time and time again, berating during your public comment, nobody's listening anymore.
Right.
I get the passion. I'm empathetic to it, and all citizens have a right to their 3 minutes, and do their public comment. But when you get up there with the same attitude and the same vitriol every single time, people stop listening. I don't listen to people that yell at me.
Right.
And it's just a never-ending circle.
Absolutely. And I say this, here's the other problem. My grandmother, Kova Messmer, had a lot of great phraseology. She loved to say you can catch more flies with vinegar, with honey than you can vinegar, right?
Yes.
The problem is some of these people are just drawing a lot of flies, and they think they're doing all the good. Just because you're drawing flies doesn't mean that you're doing anything positive. You could be dead. Rotten things draw flies too. It's not about the flies. It's about the method. And so I keep saying this. Just because you're drawing flies, sometimes, it could mean you need a shower.
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes we have this pitting where we are dividing, and it started with the way that we're pitting industry against the rest of us. Let's be realistic. Since 1964 at least, we created a district for the refineries, which is unique in the country, which is why our refineries have continued to upgrade, renew. Back, I think it was 2016, they cut their water usage in half. because they've been able to reconstitute this, repurify it themselves. They have paid more and more for water. Saying industry isn't paying for water, well, they put aside a tax on themselves, which would have been by the completion of our desalination plant, $30 million of contribution in addition to whatever else they're adding to the community. The $120,000 a year average income for their employment. Not to mention, they give back so much money to build baseball fields
Right.
and miracle
Employment.
leagues. And I mean, let me go on and on with the contributions that they make.
I know for a fact that a lot of industry is actually underusing what they're allotted as far as water goes on purpose. This is a deliberate act, as part of conservation to kind of make sure that things happen. And a lot of people just think it's so easy to just call it industry. And what they fail to see is, you've got one family member that works, say, in industry, right? That could be admin, operations, cleaning, trucking, anything. But then the rest of the family is going to school.
Yep.
Right? Or they're the other, significant other.
Right.
Someone has another job in the city. There's teachers, there's delivery drivers. There's all this other industry that also thrives off of, industries that have a
supply, the
synergy.
support
That
that-
exactly that have that supportive role and keep things going. And a lot of people don't. They can't realize the fact that industry is just more than one person and one job, and it provides a lot of infrastructure.
Absolutely. But it
and-
is that as well, though. What you said, it is that and more.
Yeah.
This is the Eric Von Wade Show, by the way, broadcasting live from Doc's Seafood and Steaks. We got great people with us. Oggs, as I don't knock over
Nope,
your
we're good.
computer.
I'm just making sure we're still broadcasting.
Good. I
and everything.
accidentally hit a bunch of buttons just then.
And we're up on YouTube. Just go to Island Moon Live, and we've got another Eric Von Wade Show special. So,
That's right. Well, I got a new sponsor coming on, too. I want to welcome on Holy Cow.
oh,
Farm and Ranch
nice,
Supply.
they're coming in.
Yeah, I mean, and they're coming on gangbusters. Every time I go in there, they got more stuff that I didn't know they had. They got dog collars. They got dog food. They are official Purina One vendor.
I buy deer corn there.
They have deer corn. They've got deer candy corn. They've got deer corn combined with protein. They've got protein feed. You can buy in bulk. They've got cow feed. In fact, I'm going to tell you this, no joke. When I was helping out, they do every year they have the Battle Royale, which is it's a I don't want to say a cow show. It's like 4-H, but they just do cattle. They've got steers. They've got heifers. And these young kids, some of these little girls are 4 or 5 years old with their dads out there. It is absolutely the cutest thing ever. They're showing cows. They have put all this work into it, and all that money goes to help them go to college and other such things. And it was at the Richard Borchard Regional Fairgrounds. There was no media there. Next year, I'm going to make sure there's some media there because, I mean, it's like dressage for cows. Families get together. They've got their little sections. They've got music. They've got napping places waiting for their next turn up. They've got multiple animals that they're showing. And so I thought it was absolutely fantastic. But the thing that got me, their cow feed, their premium like show cow feed, I was eating it as granola.
Wow.
I mean, the only thing I had to spit out was the corn cob pieces. That didn't chew down so well. But other than
It's
that,
fiber.
It's yeah. Oh, I had a lot of
Force it
fiber after
down.
that day. Let me tell you, I put a hurt on the vendors. But I mean, in the concession stand. But let me tell you, that stuff tastes. It's got a molasses type of honey thing to it. And I say, in this day and age, we are living in a new world. They test animal food on people. So, I mean, look, I had a dog treat the other day. I was hungry. I eat a lot. There was a dog treat. It had white chocolate on it. I mean,
Really?
it tasted like, it was probably, what's that they use it, it's like seaweed. They use it as an artificial, not carnauba, but Caracas or Caracas.
Sounds like it.
So, yeah, it's something that can taste like chocolate, but it's not because chocolate's bad for dogs. But it was on a biscuit that looked like a bone, but the end had broken off, so I just thought it was a bar. Anyway, that's dog treat. I was like, it tastes fantastic. If you don't eat a lot of sugar and salt in your food, everything natural grows in the ground has 3 grams of sugar. Everything tastes sweet. Wheat thins taste like they're candy if you stop eating sugar on everything. So anyway, I'm not saying that but when COVID came out, I was talking to Brian, who owns Holy Cow Farm and Ranch right there in 624. Technically, it's in Robstown, but it's just past, it's Cal Allen.
Yeah, if
And-
you leave Cal Island heading towards
Right.
Blunter, and it's there on your right.
Right, you can't miss it. Look, here's what I was impressed with. They've got cutlery. They have the largest case dealer you're going to find. In fact, he's got all the Arkansas soft stones, but they have game cams. They have the latest in digital camo, which I sported one of those shirts when Oggs and I went dove hunting, and we got a whole 6 dove or something like that day. But we had a ton of fun doing it.
Oh
I
yeah, it
just
was a
made
great
aware
time.
of a new early Christmas shopping place.
Look, I mean, I'm a bargain. Look, you didn't see this. Guess how much these alligator skin boots I got?
They're good looking boots, man. I noticed when you walked in.
$32.
No
From
way.
Holy Cow?
Yep. I walked into a pawn shop looking for some Ray-Bans. And I go, well, they didn't have any except for some weirdo looking stuff. And I was like, that's not, I want the aviators, you know. Well, what else you got? What size boots you got? They go, well, we got these here, but they're like a triple E. Well, I have a foot like a duck. That's why I swim so well. The front end's really wide. The heels. Anyway, these fit like a glove. And I talked them down to $32.
Nice.
I go, who else is going to wear a boot like this? They got dust on them. Like, these are brand new. They were so slick, I almost deep-throated the microphone in a trip when I was speaking for city council. They need to make that thing thicker and wider. It's just dangerous. I have nightmares about it. I mean, there's some people you wouldn't mind seeing trip and choke on it. But, I mean, that thing, it'll go all the way down to your belly. It's like 24 inches long and big as a straw. I mean,
Crazy, yeah. It's like the Price is Right microphone.
right. I mean, it's ridiculous. If the Price is Right microphone would stop somewhere, at least it's straight. This thing's got a curvature. It's going to go right down it could go all the way through. I could shish kebab myself. I mean, that's just not safe for anybody. They got enough attorneys up there. Somebody should have said something about that by now. But anyway, I have to tell you, this whole pitting of people, industry, think about this. Everybody that works in industry, their families are here.
Yep.
I heard somebody come up and say, you know, they only provide, and they're cutting it down to like 1,200 jobs, and most of the management jobs aren't here. And I go, and that guy still had some great ideas. He brings out some very nice material. And he's very respectful. So I got nothing against him other than just I disagree with this. You are eliminating the tens of thousands of jobs that are directly related to industry that would not be here otherwise. All the way down to the guys who run hot shots making $180,000 a year if you got your own truck and rig. I mean, that's just to drive around.
Yeah.
Now, I say that's still hard work, don't get me wrong. They're driving. But that is the simplest job to do. Invest in a truck and a trailer, and they're looking to pay you $180,000 a year. I saw advertisements on some of these job sites.
You will stay as busy as you want.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely, and you get to drive around. You listen to books on tape, the Eric Von Wade show. You know, because
there's an amazing podcast on Retro Radio CC. Just go to the app.
You can't beat it. In fact, it's probably time to take a bonus promotion moment. I'm going to try to stay on track because I'm a creature of habit. So every Thursday, we just talk until we think about it, and then I miss my 2 stop sets, and on Friday, it's just out of the water. I mean,
It all just goes crazy.
So we'll do that. But I tell you what, tomorrow I've got Kristen Johansson Weisheimer. She's been practicing. She's bringing a backup band for In the Arms of the Angels, just in case.
Okay.
And but no, we're going to. They had a dock diving competition. Now I know you and I would love this, whether you've got a dog that retrieves or not. But especially if you've got a dog that brings you dove, you need to be in the dock diving competition. It's out. They have vertical jump discipline, but it's how far they can. I had 2 Britneys. If they were back in their prime, I would be knocking that out of the park. I know they cleared 30 feet. I mean, because I taught them how to jump. I was dating a house and pet sitter at the time. We had infinity pools. I taught these dogs how to jump in this stuff. We cleaned the filter, you know. But if you have a pool, you got to clean the filter with Britneys. They got long hair. Snickerdoodles or Labradoodles, they don't shed so much. So,
well,
you
and
know,
they're hypoallergenic or anti-allergenic,
whatever that is. If you need that sort of thing. I just want a dog that brings my birds back. I got a pit bull. I'm trying to work on that because I know she could bring back geese too. Be a little, you know.
She'll bring back a Ford F-150.
Yes. I figured she's a little gun shy because I rushed a little bit. So every time I give her treats or food, I click the safety and pull both triggers on my 28 gauge that I paid $105 for.
Nice. All right, we're going to jam out to a little Ty Dietz, take a quick promotional moment. We will be right back on the Eric Von Wade Show. It is 9:17 Central Watch Company time.
Boom.
This is fun.
Hey, there you go.
I
sorry.
don't know why I'm here, but it's
No, hey, I'm glad to have you. Michael Miller said he might make it by today. He's going to try.
I was watching YouTube and I saw Brent doing stuff on the skate park. I said, I'm just going to come up there.
Well, come on. My show is a friendly open door. I tend to get scared for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe my intensity, but here's the thing. I mean, and we're still
Gotta
on.
be intense to do what you do.
So yeah, we're still on YouTube.
That's good. Hey,
Just let people know we've got a commercial break going on so they can see.
right.
We're
Well, here's the thing.
refill my sarsaparilla.
I'm wearing my jacket, but I can't take it off for warm, but I'm carrying my gun everywhere I go because they let 2 of those cartridge jackers out at Pierce. Now, I need to confirm that. But,
Yeah.
the one that was pistol whipping me is not. He's not in there. He's not showing up. And even though I went down to court, I thought it was pretty interesting. I know everybody. There's a local celebrity that's one of the alleged victims, and he's here in the courtroom. The judge waves.
Yeah.
And you know, well, the guy, he likes to take a lot of long pauses when he talks to the attorney. Anyway. And so he's notorious for the long pauses. When I couldn't remember his name and I did an impersonation, other attorneys would go, "Oh, that's that guy." Anyway, so he was like, Apparently, Ina Klein and I have a business relationship, which I was unaware of. I haven't talked to her in person since about 2016, but nonetheless, I mean, I like her. She does a good job as a judge, obviously. But anyway, so he was asking this judge. He goes, "Sir, no, I have not been a guest on the Eric Von Wade show, but I cannot promise you I won't be." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." Like he answered, like some prayer was answered. I'm like, okay, you know, this guy is trying to get out. He wants a bond reduction. And I'm like, he wants to go back to the grandmother's house where he lived when he did all this. So I'm like, yeah, it's a fine, upstanding young man with 2 kids just graduated high school. Who made a bad decision.
Oh, yeah.
It was poor judgment on one point.
19 times bad decision.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, and their judge was their attorney was confused. He said, some of these seem to be redundant. He's like, when I go, see, there's a different case number. Just because it happened on the same day doesn't mean it's redundant. You know, so he wasn't confused. But, you know, you got to argue your pay, I guess. It's it never ceases to get dull in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, look.
I see there's coffee over there.
Yeah. You should get some before it gets too cold.
Okay.
I'm just about to hit my prime coffee level. What song are we jamming
We
to?
are back. That was a little Ty Dietz Whiskey Bottle Blues.
You know, Ty Dietz, one of the coolest guys I've ever met. I volunteered for a full day of emceeing when our VFW, our Foreign Wars, Veterans of Foreign Wars, had a fundraiser that they do annually, a barbecue cook-off, but this one was the biggest. And they hit a home run with this thing. Ty Dietz was one of the players. We got a chance to jam. And when we go back to commercial break, I can tell you what he said about me. It was very complimentary. But no, super cool guy. And I've always liked his music. But, you know, this has been a great year of getting back on track. I feel like Job. I've got my
Nice.
I got my black Stetson back. I got alligator boots. It's going to be all sorts of trouble for people. And I tell you, I got the sweetest pit bull. Just don't stick your hand in my Jeep if she's in it and I'm not in there. 'Cause she'll get all.
Yeah.
That's her Jeep territory, right? Or don't take your Busy Bee. She's got a favorite Busy Bee
Have we
toy.
talked about this sweet thing under here?
Yes, that's Charlene.
Oh.
Or as some people call her, Cha-Cha. Either way, Cha-Cha, I think that was the girl's name that was my favorite character in Grease. So wasn't she the competitive Latin dancer, Cha-Cha?
That's my name to my niece and nephews.
Well,
Really?
it's
I am
a great.
Cha-Cha, and I think that's going to be my grandma name someday.
You know
or
what?
At least I'm going to try.
You'd be one hot grandma.
Oh,
So that's
you're sweet.
That's a good one.
Hopefully, I got a ways to go.
Well, you know, hey, the thing is, in this day and age, you could be a grandma at 25. So I mean, you know, it's you're looking good. You're looking good.
You turn around one day and boom, you're a grandma.
Right.
My
Hey,
oldest is 17. I can wait a little while before that happens.
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing.
You're in no
I'll
rush.
wait. I'm in
You're in
no
no
rush
rush.
for him to.
I
yeah.
say this because now it becomes more cool. When I was young, people didn't quite get it, but I actually had a grandfather in the Civil War. My dad was born in 1906. So, and his father lived till 1921, my grandfather. He outlived 4 women, wore them out. Well, I mean, they die of things like childbirth and other such things. But he had a bunch of kids. We're fertile right up to the very end. It's like, has he taken his last breath? No, 64 when I was born. So my mom was 29. And so there's a long history of that.
Yeah.
Long history of that. So, yeah, they got married when she was 17. Anyway, but yeah.
Different times.
I've got a half brother that's 102, and I don't know if he's still alive or not. But I mean, we used to keep track. He was up in Rockwall, Texas. They're all conservative except for one liberal sister, and yeah.
Not
so,
everybody's perfect.
You know, there's one in every family. I mean, you know, but still, she seems sweet, and so. But I like the fact my dog is obsessed with the birds right now, so that's all a good thing. Seagulls, I don't care if it flies as long as she's watching it.
Well, it's funny, the grackles here at Doc Steaks and Seafood will sneak in. You know, the
Oh, yeah.
the fishing line keeps the seagulls out, but the grackles and stuff will come in and grab the Splenda packets and run over and,
Or your
and
French
throw it
fry.
down. Yeah, so I mean, you be careful when you're running around Doc's Seafood and Steaks because there might be a hyped up grackle jumping around
I
it.
think I dated her once, and you need to watch her because she'd take your wallet the same way. Anyway, but the thing,
Yes, stole your boots and put your VCR in the fridge. It's a very strange time.
you knew her. Okay, the washing machine, that's the other thing. They never use that. Anyway, but you put the valuables in there. It also works on a search and seizure. You got to have a specific warrant. So the thing is, well, I studied that when I was taking law classes.
You had no idea what you were walking into.
Hey,
almost,
I'm
did
just
you?
entertained over here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Tell us about yourself, though. I mean, we
geez.
barely introduced
yeah,
you.
the uninvited guest today.
No.
I heard the boys on the radio earlier talking about the skate park and the funding that was identified and approved through TERS. I'm Cheryl Segrist. I'm just a local island mom. I've got 2 boys, and I'm a banker at Prosperity Bank, and just love this community.
And actually, the truth of it was she heard Eric Von Wade show coming up. She's like, I got to get in on that.
That's what I said.
And so,
And Jay said, sit here. I said, okay.
There you know what? Already, you're looking better and better all the time, man. That was kind of hot. The thing is,
All right. I walked into that one. Easy. Down.
I'm the king of double entendre.
I'm getting to know you like on the spot. This is dangerous.
Okay. No, it's a strong show. It's not for the weak of heart.
Yes, but
I'm
so
learning that.
getting back to kind of one of the reasons
Still
why
have a
you're
rep to protect. Watch out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, it's well preserved here. There's birds and public, and nobody's getting shot.
well, one of the things that we were kind of doing, and Jay was taking a bit of a victory lap with this as far as the TERS money going to fund the skate park and actual infrastructure being built and orchestrated by the city and
right.
county, and I think the POA is even, they have their office at Billish Park, and I think they're in control of the maintenance or something involved with it.
It'll all be worked out.
It's a multi-pronged, as I guess multi-pronged project with a lot of different people involved.
That's
and
right.
something actually got done.
You know,
that was the point. I think I spoke earlier, and y'all stop me if I go too long. But a year and a half ago, a group of parents got together. We learned after I was seated on ISAC by Dan Suckley. He nominated me for ISAC committee, and before that happened, we learned about Commodore's Park being in the plans, right? And so we all kind of, us moms and dads that are busy with our kids during the summer, we didn't attend the August original meeting for community input, so we kind of missed the boat on timing. And but we quickly got together. We sent a survey out. We did some work behind the scenes, and we got advocates together, and we started pushing for the skate park to be on Commodores.
Right.
And they listened. They put us in phase 3, but that's going to be when my youngest is out of college. So
Right.
we kind of got to work, and like I said before, we brought some kids to city council, and they spoke, advocating for it. And I think the community as a whole has the one thing in common where we all recognize, whether you're a parent or not, whether you're a retiree, whether you're a young family, that these kids need a safe place to go. We've got great playgrounds. That's good for the young. We need something for these middle schoolers, high schooler kids to go and congregate and to have some fun instead of skating on, business parking lots and
Getting in
boat
trouble.
ramps. And I think, there might be a few hoodlums out there that give those kids a bad name.
I like that word. That's one of my favorite
but,
words.
My son's in 8th grade at Seashore. He's definitely not one of the hoodlums. He knows his hide will be skinned if he is.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, he signed contracts with me, because one of the great things about living on the island for this age group is they have freedom, they have independence.
Right.
I grew up with that.
Yeah.
In town that was a little bit harder to say, okay, yeah, go ride your bike, go ride your skateboard wherever you want to.
Yeah.
And so they keep each other safe, the ones that know the rules, and this just gives them an opportunity to have a place to go have some fun and to teach kids younger than them how to do it too. It's a generational sport.
Here's the great thing about this, and I say this, I want to give recognition to those kids that are respectful, young
That's
people
right.
that are
They
respectful.
don't get talked enough on Facebook enough.
Because
Only the bad.
I had an axe throwing facility, right? And I'm in the corner of Hamlin Shopping Center. And there was one guy that skated a lot, but anytime I asked him one thing or this, he was always, yes, sir, I'm going to stay over here. Because I kept telling him, people are carrying axes in. Sometimes they've got covers on them. Sometimes they don't. You don't want to bump into them for you or them. And I said, and he was like, yes, sir, no, sir. Very respectful. And so I appreciated that.
Yeah, you've got a group of kids that live at Cole Park that are older, right? They're always there. And those are the kids that I would show up with my then 4-year-old child, who's my 17-year-old now. He just wanted to learn how to skate. They would take the time to teach him. When the language started happening, I asked them to please respectfully understand there's a younger child here, and they always were respectful to that. They throw out their cigarettes and focus on teaching him how to skate. It's
And
a
thank
community.
goodness they don't watch city council public comment.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
that's where they picked. That's where they learned it.
Yeah,
picked up the bad
it's
language.
what a juxtaposition. Here we have people who get irate because we have people praying for rain, but they're also irate if you don't get to say the F word. What an upside down thing.
I've also seen, Eric, on since this announcement came out about the skate park funding, I've seen a lot of comments, and I don't pay attention to a lot of the comments, but I've seen a lot of comments saying water should be the only thing that gets funded right now. It's a different bucket.
We
It's
can
a
walk and
different
chew gum at
bucket.
the same
We
time.
can walk and chew gum at the same time. Trust me, if the ISAC committee could figure out this water deal, we would. We've got a subcommittee that gets a lot of work done, but you know what? It's not in our wheelhouse. And so, that's a different topic, different bucket, different funding, different
Yep.
everything.
Well, and I think it's good that we're going to give credit because, look, it only takes, and I say this, I use the Uniform Crime Report the FBI puts out every year. About 10% of the United States population commits 90% of the violent crime every year, right? So if you extrapolate that, a very small percentage of skaters can make a bad name for everybody else. Like a small percentage of
That's right.
police officers that have had a bad day dealing with some bad people. All of a sudden, now everybody thinks they're all bad, right? Well, I mean, it's not really fair. I know a lot of police officers, and they're down to earth. They laugh. They have a sense of humor.
They
They're
have
real
families.
people.
They go home every
and
day.
it's the same thing. We are pitting. I mean, you could put the person who's the most angry individual out there for getting a speeding ticket.
That's
Put him
right.
king of Corpus Christi for a day, or queen.
Right.
They're going to have speed enforcement because pretty soon, when you have children dying and other
That's right.
things, because everybody's driving whatever speed they want, it does. You have to have this, but it's always easy to criticize management when you're not management. It's always easy to think the boss has got it easy because you see all the money
Armchair
coming in, but not the money
quarterbacking.
going out. It's always easy. So I try to make it a point. Look, I give everybody a chance. If you walk up to me and shake my hand and introduce
That's
yourself, I don't care whether your hair looks like you slept on it with
That's right.
mousse or it's sticking straight up and you got or
Purple or green or
long
whatever.
hair, short hair. If you can be respectful, then I give you a chance, and that's the biggest thing. But don't roll up on me. I've had I've lived in some rough neighborhoods, and you know what? I'll tell you this: my wallet fell out of my. You walk around naked with a double-headed axe in your backyard, people leave you alone. And I wanted to get an even tan, and I was chopping wood, and so I
it's
left.
called multitasking.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello. What are you doing looking at my backyard from your project place?
Yeah.
I say this, and I'm just going to throw this out there. A big kudos to David Loeb. I happened to mention to him I had this run-in with the drug dealer from across the street. And I said, I don't know what his problem is, but just because they don't want to turn on the AC and I'm burning firewood in my backyard in a pit doesn't mean you're going to come over. That's when I started walking around the backyard naked. 1 week later, that whole apartment thing was leveled to the ground. And I go, David,
What'd
Wow.
you do?
what did you do? He goes, I don't know. Sometimes people talk to me and God listens. Anyway, so that's all I got. But I mean, but
Well, I tell you, if hoodlums try to come take over the skate park, you got a group of parents that's not going to let that happen.
No.
The police don't even need to get involved. We've
Right.
got a tight community out here. We
Self-policing,
will police it ourselves.
that's where it's at. I mean, look, if you take care of your own, then you don't have to worry about it,
That's
right?
right.
And I say the same thing, like gun shows and stuff like that. There are dealers, when somebody shows up and they look like they're in a gang, they go, I got nothing to sell you. I've seen it happen. I got nothing to sell
Yeah.
you. And you know what? That always inspired me because it's fantastic. Now, maybe they're not in a gang, but you come with a teardrop tattoo, you got the rest of it, you're trying to look like you are.
If it
and
looks like a duck,
whack, whack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I admire what you guys are doing with the skate park out there. I think it's great because we need safe places for young people to
do.
go where they can have fun, not worrying about, and they cleaned up an area I used to play basketball at Collier Pool, at Collier Park. And it got to be, I was just irritated with the fact that we couldn't finish a game because one of the players had to keep stopping to put something in the helmet of motorcycle guys that came by or inside the car and get cash for it in the middle of the game the whole time. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is not good for the neighborhood. Well, they cleaned that up. They made that pool new again.
Yeah.
We've done some great things. And the island and the city, that's another thing. We should not be pitting these two sides of Corpus
Right.
Christi against each other. We are
Exactly.
all part one and the same. I can drive over this bridge and it takes me not long at all. I can come all the way from Cal Island and it's maybe 28 minutes, you know?
Exactly.
and this issue is not just island specific. This isn't something that's just completely isolated to the
Right.
island.
Right.
There's we've seen a lot of the rise of e-bikes recently, and the term that people use are roving gangs of e-bikers on the
It just
and
cracks me up.
and their kids. Yes, and I love it. Like if we would have had electric dirt bikes in that I could drive in here because the regular dirt bikes
Yeah.
were illegal in Bel Air where I grew up, on the street at least. But
Were you the
E-ones
Fresh
are
Prince
legal.
of Bel Air?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
I was
And
just curious.
I mean,
Yeah.
my son's the one with the fishing pole holder on his.
Nice.
Hey.
yeah.
And
Well,
he goes fishing before school and after school every
You know
day
what?
on
I've
that
got
thing.
one. I inherited one. I'm just missing the charge cord. I got to charge it up now.
that's
I mean,
awesome. Yeah,
it's-
they're a lot of fun, and it's a great way for the kids to get around. They can ride in summer and
Even
not
the big kids.
sit there just dying of heat in 150 degree temperatures. But people were complaining all these kids are just running around all over the place and blah blah. Some are going faster than others. Mostly, I mean, the speed limit's 30 on Aquarius.
Yeah.
And I rarely see people really breaking that speed limit. That's pretty fast to go on a bike anyway.
What's the average age on Aquarius?
14, 13.
Who sang that song? Dang
Yeah,
it,
that
I
was
can't-
just-
yes,
Oh,
I know.
See,
That's okay. I wanted a serious and
I was
to see
trying
if anybody
yes.
got that reference.
I'm
But
sure someone can.
you guys are awesome together.
find this.
Maybe I'm too young to get that reference.
No, well, the age of Aquarius, they have like retro radio.
I've heard the same before.
Yeah, I forgot who sings that. I was
I
going to
guess
make
I
some
am
kind
on
of joke
retro
with that.
You know,
But,
I'm just going to throw it out there. It was a good song.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But
So
14, so you got 14, 15-year-olds who are riding these electric things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's better than mopeds.
one of my buddies, a couple of his boys are in the quote unquote roving biker gangs, and his response was the same thing that you said. Where are they going to go? The city has now with the skate park and then other open parks, the work they're doing at Commodore's Park on the island, for instance, they're providing a place where there's, and I tell people out here, if you're going into public office and you want to do something for the island, shade and concrete are two things that we can have
Yep.
out here
Yeah.
that we can't have enough of because it's too difficult to keep grass.
Yep.
They'll go in and plant it, but then you can't water it enough. And I'm not even going to touch water right now. But it's having a
Say
place
the
for,
W word.
Yeah, it's having a place for the kids to go to be able to congregate where you know that they're there and there are eyes on them.
And trust me, not all the parents are sitting on their back deck drinking cocktails like Spin said. We have
Yeah.
our eyes
There's
on
nothing
our
wrong
kids.
with that,
There's
though.
nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. I think that, and the pickleball courts are coming.
Right.
It's out of design phase, being bid for construction. Those pickleball courts on Commodores are coming next year.
I like
so
the way you think.
You can
And
do two things at once.
Is this a prosperity bank that produced such a fine mind, or was this, I'm just curious. But
They had a little help the last 15 years.
Miss-
I had a little help by them. For
I
sure.
tell you, Miss Segrist, you were doing fantastic, and Oggs, you're doing fantastic as well. I just want to tell you, as much as we may try, you've already been on the show with Eric Von Wade. Your reputation may be ruined, but you,
I know I'm going to have to do a post interview to
yes,
rebuild my rep.
You,
I get it.
You can say what's necessary. I don't mind. Here's the thing: it's all part of what makes this a unique community.
That's right.
Austin's all proud of them being weird. We're not weird. We're cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, I don't see why we can't have Bloody Marys here. It's if they can have them on the golf course. We're out here at Docks. I know they probably make a great one. You know what my secret to Bloody Marys are? You got to get the Vlasic refrigerated pickles.
Okay.
And a stick of celery, and then make it a little spicy, and then we're talking.
I'm a fan of a spicy Bloody Mary.
Me too. I mean, you know what? You can fill up on it. It's like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
That and Guinness. And I've been watching that show, House of Guinness. It's like Peaky Blinders with even better music.
Nice. Well, I'm going to spoil a secret. Ridley's out here when you
Ooh,
when
good
you take
stuff.
a
They
when you
taste
take a left-
delicious.
yeah, when you take a left on
Oh, you're not
going,
talking about
going
the
towards
turtles.
Port A.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, not the no. We don't. Yeah, we'll leave the turtles where they are.
No,
but
it's a joke. I've never eaten one.
Ridley's has a bunch of different Bloody Marys. One of them has like a crab claw in it, and the whole 9 yards. They are fantastic.
okay.
Definitely worth the trip over there.
There's another one called the Black Pearl or something like that. It's the Pearl. So it's right there on the island.
It's right behind us.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yes, what's it
Yeah,
called? The Black
and they're-
Pearl?
Yep, and they're the Pearl. It's they've got the Cajun as their boil plate. That's like a $10 starter
Okay.
that you can do.
they
And
just changed some stuff up.
and
They're
yes,
doing a
they're
different
changing.
type
I
of
don't
menu.
know. Double check the hours. Don't
Yeah.
just. I don't think
Somebody
they might
took
be
me
doing
there.
renovation right now, but
I
think
wasn't
they're in
driving, but she
transition.
knew where she was going. And I'm gonna tell you, ask for Lolo because Lolo makes the best. I mean, she'll do a dance as well. I mean, I'm telling you. But I had two of those, and they were fantastic. Fantastic.
Well, I'm going to throw y'all for a loop for a second.
Okay.
Come October 18th, it'll be 9 years since I've had a drink. So I'm on to what are the good NA mixes. Like, give me some good Bloody Mary.
Oh.
Give me some good NA Guinness. Give me some good something like that.
Okay, now I don't know if you like chocolate malts, but I mean, I make a serious chocolate malt.
Okay.
All I need is a blender. Now that's non-alcoholic, all right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: there's a if you go to these health food stores, there's a ginger root that you can get and add into this. Dale Rankin, the man of the hour, by the way, of the Island Moon.
Thank you, Dale.
Dale,
Yeah.
we were talking about cocktails, and I know you don't know anything about those, so I didn't want to, and non-alcoholic drinks.
I'm going to pick up my first copy of the Island Moon, printed in Mexico.
Can you autograph it for me?
If it's there,
Okay.
ask me in an hour.
you'll sign it
Okay,
in Spanish.
I want.
We're now printing in Reynosa.
I know that you. Oh man, they got great horse races there. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I haven't been since I was a kid. I'll tell you this: you probably want to keep number one, but I'll take number 2. You autograph it.
All right,
I
I've
will
got to
put it
stay
up.
on this side of the border. I've got to pay tariffs on the newsprint, and there's a little gap I noticed in the billing. And what is that? Well, that'd be your mordida. There, so we get to contribute to the cartels.
Dale,
a
when does
little
the latest greatest one come out?
bit. Today? I'm going
Okay.
to pick
Yes,
it up
you
right
can
now.
actually just double checked. If you go to islandmoon.com,
It's
you can-
online.
It's
Should
updated?
be.
You can
Yeah.
find it there.
Thank you.
Dale, I want to say this. I read one of your. I'm missing a couple of weeks, but 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
you had a fantastic thing. I mean, it made me want to come to the island and go scuba diving. And you had some great stuff. The underwater photographs were fantastic.
Yeah, that was. I think Jace took those.
those were great,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was impressed.
It's amazing what you see in the jetties. You go down there with a camera and a snorkel.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff down there you wouldn't think is in our water.
Well, I'll put this out there. Since I've been to the bargain shop, I got 5X Stetson hat, $24 pawn shop,
Yeah.
$32 brand new alligator boots, $105. I didn't get it at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Side by side 28 gauge, and then a bunch of dead man's clothes. But I mean, still,
Right.
I mean,
as long as they fit. The
They
shoes
did.
are a little weird.
I wash them. I wash them though. I wash them. That's the
The
key.
shirts are okay, but wearing a dead man's shoes is a little odd.
I used to go to Mexico to get my boots, man.
I
Yeah,
used to have 'em made
You
in
used to be able to
Piedras.
get sea turtle boots down there. Now they
Well,
get
I
all
could-
bent out of shape about it.
I used to get. I would go down and get rough outs made. I had a boot maker in Piedras,
Yeah.
and for $70, I go down there and a couple of months later get them in the mail. But you can't cross the border anymore.
You know what? I go to a country. I have connections. I got manufacturing in a country.
Yeah.
Where sometimes they kill Americans,
Yeah.
but they love me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Until they don't.
Well, no. I mean, already I've had them jogging behind me,
Yeah.
chanting "Von Wade, Boombaye." John Von Wade. They got John in there, but it was still Von Wade, Boombaye, and they got the joke. They
Yeah.
got the joke. It was fantastic. It's the Denisovian DNA that I've recently discovered I have. I
Yeah.
think that creates and
It's
Neanderthal.
some
I'm gonna
craziness
go-
in your eyes.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
go
they're just scared enough.
Yeah.
Well, they will.
I can see it.
They've
I don't
seen my
know.
my former bodybuilding photographs, which I started doing push-ups again. So before I'm leaning down before I start bulking up again. But they see them. I've had grown men in the middle of business meeting videos, and they take their shirts off. I'm like, "What are we going on?" And they'll flex. What can I do? I'm like, "Put your shirt back on for one." I mean, you know, we're.
Well, I got to go pick up newsprint.
Hey, go do that.
All right, good to
Dale
see you.
Rankin. He is the man of the hour. He's the man with the plan. I still think we need to have
Be good, Ronnie.
the mainland moon. That was my idea. The
The
mainland
Mainland
moon.
That's good.
And
Just don't pit the two against each other.
well, it's the same paper. It's the same guy. I mean, you know,
Right.
it's a regional
concept
focused
is there.
thing. Like we used to have beat reporters, right? I thought Rosemary Barnes was a pain in my side for the longest time, but I missed the days when we had somebody that knew a little history about here's the city council beat,
Hmm.
here's the this. We don't pay them. You know how much they get paid to write a story? If you Caller
pennies?
Times reporter, $40 for a story.
Gee.
That's not enough money for me to pay. I mean, I can make $40 doing something
Well, that's-
else. I mean, that's a lot of work.
One of the best kind of things about the Island Moon, and Dale and I have talked about this. He's been in the industry so long, you know, he's seen the sways and what's kind of coming and going. And if you look at bigger cities, the fall of the newspaper has really been, and it's not just because of the widespread internet and all the information. All your nationwide news has really come down to only a few different sources, and some of that gets so trite and contrived. I want to find out what's going on in a place that, you know, where if there's decisions to be made, my opinion can affect that.
Right.
You know, and you want to have that feeling. Corpus is the size of a city where you actually have that. You can't get that in Houston or San
That's right.
Antonio. You feel like such a small fish.
Right.
And there's not much that you can do. You know, in Corpus, the vote matters. And the Island Moon has a great kind of specific way to reach a lot of people. And the island votes. The island comes out.
It does. Now I have to back it up. That was my backup sound. I have, and this everything I say sounds like I'm being a smartass, and I know that. But I'm really genuinely curious about the pronunciation of the tax increment refinance zone,
Reinvestment.
reinvestment zone. They have a tax increment finance zone. There's different ones, so it's not all the same. But the I is sounding a whole lot like a U. And then when we got paper towels, it sounds like people are needing to clean up after an accident. I would think it's tears, but TERS. TERS. It sounds like a dirty
Well,
word.
we're still in Texas, so
We got a TERS.
Probably what it is.
So I'm wondering, you know, that letter T has a great etymology to it. You know, it came from the Viking rune, Proto-Germanic rune. It's where the god of war, for crying out loud, looked like the upward arrow, also the male symbol that we have, you know, it stems from the same thing. And I think it's tears. because Tyr is the god of war, first of all, and so it sounds a lot more, you know.
Yeah, tears is also what
we're gonna
shed
drop
at
a TERS
City
on
Council
you.
public comment.
We're
That's
going to
the-
drop a TERS on you because we want some refinance.
Well, so this is it's just interesting. Getting back to kind of the concept of the TERS and why and how they're effective. The downtown TERS. I was living there in that part of town when it really got fired up.
Right.
It really got started.
I
And-
thought that was a TIF, though.
And you could see, well, so it's, I know there is a TERS there, but there's also different finance things that go in with that. But
Right.
I'm talking kind of the concept as a whole.
Right.
Is the money that's spent here stays here for public infrastructure.
That's
So
right.
it's not going for private anything. It's all public utilities and things like that. So, and a lot of that is laying the groundwork for future development and other people to come in, our entrepreneurs or other companies and
So
and
that
big
more
guys and-
money can go into it.
Exactly, yeah, and it's you're starting
betting
a
on
flywheel.
yourself.
You're starting a flywheel,
Reinvestment.
yeah. And seeing the success of the downtown terrace, because that started changing the landscape. I'm sure a lot of our friends in Radio Land can remember how bad downtown got.
I
at one point
cut
in
my
time.
teeth in talk radio 30 years on downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing that really blew my show up. Was that-
Lauren was working with you down at that time, yeah.
Well, this is even before Lauren. I
Yeah.
don't know if Lauren was born yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's making me sound old. But it was, I think, 1995, and the city of Corpus Christi decided to purchase the Frost Building, which was the Lichtenstein Building,
Okay.
as a way to preserve it. And the public statement released at the time, Tom Utter, an assistant city manager, utterly ridiculous. I mean, you love enough people long enough if they're around long enough, but he and I didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But Tom Utter was kind of the man in charge of this, and he'd been there for the longest time. The Lichtensteins have been a family that goes back. I mean, I read about them supplying some of the Rangers that were going after the Raiders who were coming across the border in the War of the Nueces Strip, stealing Texas cattle, and they outfitted them with all sorts of single-shot 45 70s because they emptied saddles and Roberts Rangers and the rest of it. So, War of the Nueces Strip, great book to read if you ever want to. You can see the family. The Lichtensteins kind of faded away. They didn't have any offspring the last generation or so, and so we don't see much about them. I don't know if they have any surviving relatives or not, but I'm sure Dale could tell us. So the Frost Building is what it had changed to from the Lichtenstein to the Frost Building. I remember shopping there with my grandmother. Great place. I still had shoe boxes for the longest time that said Frost on it. And so they bought it up saying that this is going to be the center spoke of a wagon wheel for redevelopment for the city of Corpus Christi. 10 years later, they still hadn't done anything with it. And a friend of mine, Stovall was their last name. They owned the Ladybug, Steve Stovall. And as we used to hang out at Harvey's barn door, drinking coffee 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, smoking cigarettes and talking politics at the horseshoe table. We had the horseshoe corner thing. People would literally come by to argue with us, conservatives, liberals, whatnot. And we started that in high school. That carried on through college and then some. And so he comes by and he goes, here's the thing. He said, they had this building. I went down and I said, hey, what are you going to do with this? And he said it scared the hell out of him because they were really, and I believe this to be true, this is now where I'm going to get into hearsay, but they were holding on to it thinking the Lichtensteins were going to come back. They went into receivership or bankruptcy and they were going to buy it back. And they were holding on to it. They had no intention of doing all this. But it had been 10 years. The city owned it. Nothing had been done with it. So he said, we started making these proposals. And here I caught, they awarded the project to a couple who I'm sure were all sorts of nice. They lived down the street from Mayor Mary Rhodes at the time. And the only connection I saw was that they were in an organization called Art in the Heart. And there used to be a mural still painted on one of the downtown walls. I don't know if it's still there. I think they've covered it up with something since then. But Art in the Heart was a created function to start trying to get people interested in revitalizing downtown. Rawlings and a number of other people owned buildings. I think they still do, holding on to them for an investment. And so they were dressing up some of these dilapidated buildings. Well, you had a number of different people, including Steve Stovall with the Ladybug, that had wanted to purchase this building, and they were doing really well. And the guy who got me into talk radio was also friends with him, Hal Seymour, who's passed on. It seems like cirrhosis of the liver is getting people all over the place. That's why I don't take the COVID vaccine. But anyway, you had these interested parties, and the city awards it to somebody who was a barback and no work experience at all.
Yeah.
Who had an investor that provided the money from Mexico 24 hours before the deadline to do all this. And they kept extending. The deal was they had to make $1 million worth of improvements in the first year in order to maintain the ownership of it because they sold it to them at a deal. They went before city council and said, we couldn't do the $1 million because asbestos abatement was so very expensive. Well, somehow what fell into my lap was the estimate from Moody K. Boatwright, a local engineer, about asbestos abatement, which was, and he started the letter off, significant reductions in the cost of asbestos abatement makes it far less expensive. So I caught him in a lie there. I
Yeah.
went before city council and spoke on it. I didn't have to sign up because it was already on the agenda, but they kept approving it and approving it. The very first published photographs I ever had in a magazine article were for the Cosmopolitan, which is the Frost Building. Finally, after years and years, that biggest problem they had, there was no elevator, there was no parking. They got the center of it, create a swimming pool, have apartments around the outside of it. It's a beautiful thing. So I thought it was kind of ironic. I got a chance. My first published photographs as a photographer were of the Cosmopolitan. But I mean, we wasted 20 years trying to cover up and save face. And I think that our council a lot of times is wasting a lot of time trying to save face when they could gain a lot more respect. There's always going to be people who want to go, aha, you were wrong.
Right.
That's not a majority of people. There's a lot more respect for people who come out. And I mentioned Judy Holly the other day, a former state representative. I didn't agree with her on all issues, but she had the courage. She could have fended this off if she saw the writing on the wall. But when concealed carry was proposed in Texas, she voted for it, even though she was opposed to it. She said, I couldn't help it.
She had
Overwhelming. My
wasn't it
constituents.
like overwhelming support for
Yep.
it from her
Yeah.
constituents? And she just said, okay.
You gotta listen.
She's like, what are you going to do? I'm to represent him. She said it's 99.9999%.
Yeah.
I mean, she maybe had one person who wrote to her. Everybody else was all overwhelming in favor of it. I got my concealed carry license that year and went on from there. But I mean, there are times when you have to acknowledge that you're there. Leadership, you have your time. If you're unable to convince the populace that you're right on an issue, then that's your failing, no one else's. The majority of city council has proven themselves to be wrong by every measure, including a latest poll that showed only 28%, 27% point something opposed desalination. The rest of them are for it. And business and everyone else, we're running out of water.
Yep.
We're running out of water really fast. And there's only one thing more expensive than this. Is this desal plant expensive? Yes, it is. There's only one thing more expensive. That's not having it. Because we
Right.
need that and multiple other sources. Otherwise, we're not going to make it. We're not going to grow. We're trying to come up with enough water to meet what we are right now, which is negative 1.1% growth.
And I want to say a huge thank you to Mayor Paulette Guajardo for jumping on the Eric Von Wade show this week. And it's so great that she's accessible and wants to be
Amen.
part of the conversation.
Right.
And she's welcome on Island Moon Thursdays from 7 to 9 here at Doc's Steaks and Seafood anytime. Just let me know.
She's been very gracious. I don't agree with her on every issue. I didn't agree with her when she was opposed to desal years ago. I've been for desal since 1995 when Joe O'Brien, founder and president of the Taxpayers Association, was for the most expensive form of desal there is, multi-effect distillation. And so reverse osmosis is a lot less expensive. It doesn't produce super clean water as the first byproduct, but it uses a lot more energy. So we'd be seeing a lot more cost. But we would have had to pay for it by now.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's ultimately what it all boils down to is what they said before. And our friend Greg Smith knows all the numbers, so I'm not going to even attempt to throw
Sure.
out numbers and say it cost X before, now it's costing X and Y and Z. And that's one of the reasons why. And God bless everybody that got on city council literally had 4 weeks to learn as much as they could about how long has this problem been going on?
That's right.
Yeah, and again, let me just stress this. The solution is not to get refineries to stop selling them water. If we stop selling them water, we cease to exist as a city because that is our cash crop. It has been our cash crop for decades, I would say, at least for generations, 2 generations. We cannot deviate from this and replace it overnight. We will cease. And besides, the federal government's not going to allow us.
I was going to say the state and the federal government have been stepping in, kind of like pushing things along.
You're right.
And
now they're going to, if they come in, we're not going to like it because there won't be
No.
any money for skate parks. There won't be any money for all the rest of this. Everything is going to go towards national strategic defense. And that's what when we produce enough fuel to be responsible for 10% of the economy of this country out of Corpus Christi, we're not the sparkling city by the sea. We're the crown jewel of the Texas coast, and we need to walk like we got a pair. And we're not, I mean, we're acting like, oh, it's us against them. The same people that work in those refineries are the same people that face the same curtailment that we're going to be facing. They don't have to get green. They don't have green lawns either. They live right here. They pay taxes right here. And those big incomes, when it came to COVID, that's the only reason why my business survived. If it hadn't been for those, I was upset at first at how they classified your what do they call
Essential
it?
or non-essential, yeah.
But if it hadn't been for those essential jobs making money, I wouldn't have survived. I was
Yeah.
only in business for a couple of months before everything hit. I didn't qualify for squat.
Yeah.
And-
COVID changed my business a lot.
And
Us too. My husband and I also own Academic Outfitters, the school uniform store here in
Oh,
town.
outstanding.
And it was a year no school,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
we
man.
had to rely on the SBA help to stay afloat. And
you keep getting more interesting. I have a program for
well,
children.
so when Biden was saying
That's funny.
forgive student loan debt, I was like, how about forgive the IDL loans because y'all shut us down?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the Von Wade Youth. It's a program. We teach kids how to clear houses. I mean, we use dummy guns, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, there's all sorts of military saluting and all sorts of. I mean, I need a uniform. So I'm
I got
just
a plaid skirt for you. Watch out.
don't think I
No
won't wear
comment,
it.
Eric.
Don't think I won't
It's
wear it.
called a kilt, and Scottish people wear them all the
Goes
time.
good with your boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except if you're not Scottish in the United States riding a motorcycle. Doesn't look cool. I'm just saying. You wear that when you have the reenactment. I do have a two-handed sword and a hand and a half sword. It's and they're battle ready. So I'm just saying I could pull the kilt off. But would you go dove hunting with me if I show up with a standard poodle and a kilt?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
just because you know that poodles are actually a hunting
Just
dog.
for the photo op.
And
Yeah.
the poodle cut. Now in France, I guess they just but they don't bathe a lot over there. It's a whole
Yeah.
other thing. They speak with French is basically a language developed by illiterate Romans speaking Latin, and they all had a cold. Fromage. But it's very nasally. Willie Nelson likes them, but that's because they sing the same. And so here's the thing. I got a lot of history I could share with you. We need to take a bonus. Well, we'll take a bonus promotional moment in a second.
Yeah, we'll get right to the end. It is 9:55 on the Eric Von Wade Show, KUKA Driscoll, Texas, 105.9.
And we could have a regular guest right here with Ms. Segrist. I mean, I'm telling you, you've done fantastic. I love your input. I like your thinking on it. You've got school uniforms for the Von Wade Youth coming out. They have riding crops. I mean,
right.
it's going to be fantastic.
Community collaboration.
Can you get riding boots as well? I mean, I have some custom designs,
We
but
can't stock shoes and boots.
not a problem. I have a maker for you.
All right.
I mean, you could have them custom ordered
There
with
you
the
go.
logo and everything
There
on
you
them.
go.
Have you seen Tombstone?
Yes.
That's where I got the mustache right here from.
Uh-huh.
I have boots that are with some of the investment I'm making in resoling a lot of my stuff. You're going to see my custom design. They have a carbon fiber, and it's a herringbone weave of carbon fiber and Kevlar. Better than anything else that's stopping snake
That's
bites.
what you remind me of. One of those Sutherland guys on Tombstone. What is it? Not Kiefer, but the dad.
The dad,
Yeah. What's his name?
No, that was
you may be-
Johnny Ringo.
Maybe.
Johnny Ringo,
Yeah.
Doc Holliday possibly.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
think
you
you're
got
more
a little
Doc
doc
Holliday
in you.
than
You
Johnny
got a little
Ringo.
doc in you.
I'm a little dehydrated though. Wait till I bulk up. I mean, I'll look a little. When my neck muscles are slightly larger than my jaw is when I'm happiest, and so. But I mean, look. Here the thing is, there's a lot of good stuff going on. I appreciate what you've been doing on the island and all the other moms. I'm going to give them a big thumbs up because that skate park is another safe place where people can go with their kids, their families, have a great time. And, they can still smoke cigarettes over there somewhere,
And the moral of the story here is community involvement.
Right.
Well, and that's what I'd like to take a minute when we're back up just to go over. Kind of that part, because you can complain all you want about what's going on in here, but you've got to educate yourself. And I didn't prior to serving on ISAC. I had no idea what a TERS
What's ISAC?
was. Island Strategic Action Committee. I
So-
had no idea what a TERS was.
Yeah.
And you do your research, and like you said, this community is accessible. The community leaders are accessible. And if you don't know how to get in touch with them, do some digging. Ask your neighbor. Somebody knows somebody, that knows somebody that can help you.
Well, I feel like we made a new friend, and we only got a couple minutes left. I was going to give you the last
Oh.
bit of it because you're somebody who's been in the trenches. I just talk about stuff, but
Yeah.
you're down there doing it, and I appreciate that. I heard my good friend Brian was on the phone with somebody at the Holy Cow Farm and Ranch Supply. Got to go by and check him out, as well as in Inspirational Pool Designs Unlimited. You can find them on Facebook. Again. Best Pools, 30 years of experience. And, of course, if you need a defense attorney, I'm always possibly in need of one. You got Scott F. Lemansky. That F stands for fantastic. There's nobody better. But I'm just saying, amongst all that, and, of course, I need to go by and get a new pin on my nice Michael Kors watch. I busted that one again. but it wasn't her fault. Anyway, so the thing is, we've got great things going on, and see, she picks up on stuff quick. You're gonna have to come back next Thursday when we're here.
They can't hear me roll my eyes at you though. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Well, you can see it on YouTube.
Oh,
They
hi.
can see it.
Island Moon
I don't know
Live,
where the
because it's-
camera's
Yeah,
facing.
feel-
I
It's-
wasn't
yeah.
prepared.
She has green eyes, and that's the rarest eye color.
Well, thank
There
you.
you go. Next to that would be blue, and so we got them all right here for you with Augs. It is the Eric Von Wade Show, KUKA Driscoll, Corpus Christi. It's good stuff that's happening. There's still things to complain about. I try, but we got to focus on the positive, because if we're not reinforcing the good stuff, if we're not having parents involved in 4-H, skate parks, get it. It is fun to do stuff with your kids when you can teach them the things that you have a passion for. If you don't have a passion for something, come hang out with Eric Von Wade. I got hobbies out the wazoo.
And what do you got coming up tomorrow?
Hey, I have Kristen Johansson Weisheimer. We're going to talk about the dock diving competition that was last Friday. If you've got a dog that likes water, it's a simple thing. It's not complicated training. In fact, I think I'm going to sponsor a little training event where you can bring your dog out, and we can get a group together, get a little discount. It's not very expensive anyway, but it is so much fun to see those dogs leap into that. I got some fantastic photographs. I'm way behind but I mean, I got the splash. I put my camera for the first time ever on the sports speed thing, and I got a Sony A7R II with 42 megapixels of instant freezing of that water coming out. They had poodles, they had Afghans, they had Labradors, they had Boston Terriers.
Any cavapoos?
You know what? Probably so. I think I might have stepped on one. I heard somebody say, but no, here's the thing. They got, I don't know about snickerdoodles, but they had Skipper Keys. I mean, and those dogs used to have a special purpose. In fact, every week we're focusing on another breed to talk about what job they were bred to do. Most people have no idea. I'm looking for a Boykin, a Brittany. I mean, these aren't girls. I'm talking about dogs. I mean, although the names they transverse these days, but I'm looking for a good retriever in case. I mean, you need two. One can learn from the other. 95% of what a dog does is genetics. When it comes to being a great pet that's sweet, 100% of it is what you do. And so that's I just say this: look at reputable breeders, not backyard breeders. If you're going to go that route, if you're looking for a pet, go down and talk to PALS, go down and talk to the Humane Society, go down to our local shelters, because there are tons of great dogs for pets.
Right.
And they can all be taught to bring you the phone, or if we had a newspaper or whatever else. I mean, that's a whole different ball of wax. You don't have to go down and get a purebred to be the happiest partner to a furry friend that you've got with the family.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Eric Von Wade Show. We are going to flip this back over to retro country and leave you guys with a little trip tonight today. So we will see you tomorrow for the morning wave, 6 to 7:30. Larry Elizondo's Power Hour, 7:30 to 9, and a Mushroom Cloud of Truth back on tomorrow from 9 to 10.
Trip tonight,
Thanks,
almost
guys.
as fun as Tannerite, and they have that at Holy Cow too.
Nice.